It's time to chill out and get ready for a mediocre Q&A live stream. If you're old enough, grab yourself your favorite adult beverage, and if you're not, stick with apple juice. Put your feet up and relax. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. And now let's cue up the intro music. Yo, how you guys doing this evening? Hopefully you guys are doing well. So I'm going to say this now. I'm going to give it a few more minutes. Hold on. I'm going to give it a few more minutes, let a few more people come in, then I'll announce the giveaway. I'm going to give away something in the chat tonight. So, but give it a few more minutes. So hopefully you guys are doing well. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to stop by on your Monday evening. Obviously you guys probably aren't too busy. Most of us in the country are bored sitting at home. I know some people are still working, and I'm happy for you guys. I really am. It's pretty interesting over here in Southern California. We are not working. I think I said this last time. I mean, maybe 3 or 4 service calls last week. That's about it for me. So it was not anything amazing when we're used to like 6 to 9 a day. So it sucks, but it's life. You know, we're going to make it through this one way or the other. So I will say it right now, and I'll give it another opportunity too. When the moderator bot does the song quote, there's going to be song lyrics, okay? The first person to send me an email, and it's just based off of Gmail, the first email that I see in my inbox that says the artist and the song title, it's a pretty easy one, okay? The artist and the song title, I will send you so long. I got to be careful about this, okay? I cannot ship all around the world, unfortunately, because of prices, okay? So the first person within the United States that sends me the song title and the artist to my email, hvacrvideos@gmail.com, okay? I'll send you a brand new set of field piece job link probes, full set. Pressure probes, temperature clamps. I got an extra one sitting in my shop. I figured, why not? Everybody's depressed and bummed out, so why not throw a set out there, okay? I would love to be able to ship them all around the world, guys. Unfortunately, I can't, just because it gets ridiculously expensive. So I apologize to you guys that are outside of the United States, but for those that are here, the first person, once the moderator bot posts the song lyrics, the lyrics, it's going to post a lyric to it. you got to be the first person to send me an email to hvacrvideos@gmail.com with the artist and the song title. Okay, you got to get both. All right, not the movie quote. There's going to be a movie quote too. It's just for the song. Okay, so the first person, after the live stream's over, the first email that I see in my inbox, I'll send you a response. Okay. All right, so yeah, the lyrics will be in the chat. I have no control over it. The moderator bot will post them in the chat at a predetermined time within the chat. So you guys will see it when it posts inside there. Okay. And yeah, I think there's going to be 3 hints. So I'm pretty sure it's going to go pretty quick. So let's see if anybody gets it. Okay. I figured why not? Yeah, I know. I feel bad for the guys that are outside the United States, but we'll have to figure something out soon. Okay. And we'll figure, that out. But anyways, I hope you guys are doing well. I'll say some more details about it in a few minutes too. Okay. Well, I tell you what. Okay. I tell you what, LM Sylvia. If you guys live outside of the United States and you want to compensate me or we'll figure something out for shipping, I'll still consider you. Okay. So if you guys live outside the United States, I will consider you. You'll have to send me an email. That's if you're the first person to guess the song and the artist. Okay. It is a pretty easy one. So yeah, we'll work something out. So if you are outside the United States, I'll still consider you so long as we can figure it out. Okay. But it's going to be the first person that emails me when it's not Nightbot, it's the Streamlabs moderator when it posts it inside there. Okay. It'll be sometime in a little while. You guys will see it, but it'll be a full set of field piece job link probes. And Ike and Jeff, the maintenance man, thank you very much for those super chats. Much appreciated. Not needed, but I do appreciate those. Okay. So let's get onto the stream. Obviously we're going through COVID. Everybody is. We're stressed out about it. I talked about it on one of my last streams and I want to talk about it again. Okay. At this point in time, to my knowledge, there is no proven cure for COVID-19. Okay. So if anybody out there is telling you that they have EPA approved, FDA approved, any of that stuff, it's false information. Okay. There is no EPA approved or FDA approved COVID-19 cure at this point. Now, there is some things that fight similar viruses, okay? Because COVID-19 is a coronavirus. I am not a doctor whatsoever, so you need to do your research, okay? But I'm just trying to warn against the snake oil companies out there, okay? Or, some kind of UV lights and different stuff like that. We don't know for sure if they solve the problem. Now, if you're informing your customer that these things can kill similar viruses, and you're taking a shot in the dark to see if it might eliminate something, then so be it. But don't try to rip your customers off. Don't tell them that a UV light is guaranteed to kill COVID-19 because you don't know that to be true. It may be true, but you do not know it at this point. Okay. And you do have to be careful, not trying to talk crap on UV light manufacturers or anything like that, but we don't know for sure. Okay. And UV lights can potentially cause harm to other things too. So you need to be careful. Okay. Just be careful. Try not to push too much stuff that you don't know to be factual or true. Now, again, I totally understand if someone out there wants to inform the customer that this thing works on similar viruses and stuff like that, as long as the customer is fully aware that it's a shot in the dark, it's an educated guess. Sure, that's fair, but you guys need to be fair to your customers. You need to be honest to your customers. Okay. I am no way an expert when it comes to viruses or any of that crap. I just know enough to read between the lines. Okay. I had a customer call me today, one of my restaurant customers, and they said, hey, you know what? They heard about something, this air filter that kills the virus and all this different stuff. And I informed them, okay, I realized that I could jump on a bandwagon and sell my customers all these products in the world. But I informed them, look, okay, we can look into this stuff, but there's no proven solution here yet, okay? And then I gave him my ideas. I said, hey, they use standard air filters on their preventative maintenance program. I said, hey, you know what? Until we know more, let's consider changing your filters over to pleated air filters. Let's consider fixing all your economizers, your outdoor air dampers, and your exhaust fans. Let's get more air exchanges inside your building. Remove the potential of bad air that people are off-gassing, put in fresh air into the building. Let's start with that, and then we can, try some of these other things. But I suggested to him, hey, let's go that route, and then I told him I would do a little bit more research. I firmly believe that Within the next year or so, there's going to be strict federal regulations, not just state, but I bet you federal regulations about air exchanges, indoor air quality monitors, and different things like that. I honestly see that as the future, monitoring indoor air. Right now, we have stuff like that in California. We have some of the strictest indoor air requirements. We have to do air exchanges. We have to have outdoor air dampers, economizers, different stuff like that, bring in fresh air. We're supposed to have CO2 sensors. But they only do that on new installations, and anything after that, nobody's enforcing it. And the return on investment isn't there for the customer. So when those economizers break, the customer doesn't want to fix them. They just throw them away. So, that's kind of a bummer. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents on that, okay? David, do I build walk-ins at all? No, I do not build walk-ins. I've never built a walk-in. I've seen them done. I've heard a lot of people say that they're really easy. I do retrofit installation. So if you have an existing walk-in cooler, I'm a service company, okay? So I do a retrofit. I can change the evaporator, the condenser, change the line set, but I'm not a contractor or a construction guy. I don't build walk-ins. I don't level floors. That kind of stuff. So let's see what else. All right. Let me see what I'm missing here. Seeing if I'm missing any comments in here right now. Yeah, exactly. I see you there, Big Nate. All right. Is the quote being posted by Streamlabs? Yes. My Streamlabs moderator bot is going to post the song quote. I will say it again right now. My Streamlabs moderator bot is going to post movie quotes and song quotes. The first person to send me an email to hvacrvideos@gmail.com when the moderator bot posts the song quote, okay, the first person to send me an email with the correct artist and song title, I'm going to send a set of field piece job link probes to you. Now, if you live outside the United States, we're going to have to figure something out on the freight, okay? You'll have to compensate me for the freight or something like that. But within the United States, I'll ship them, okay? So, and I have no control. Well, I do have control. The moderator bot's going to do it at a certain time frame within the stream. It's not going to be at the end. I can promise you that. But it'll just pop up randomly. Have I ever had a reversing valve stuck in the cooling position? Helpful in cool videos. No, I have not had a reversing valve stuck in the cool position. The only failures I've personally had on reversing valves, I don't work on a lot of heat pumps, but the only failures that I've had on reversing valves is leaks on the equalizer lines on reversing valves. I've never had one stick in one position or the other. I will say majority of the time, reversing valve failures that are sticking oftentimes are caused by a dirty system. People not following proper refrigeration practices when they're vacuuming, when they're changing dryers, cutting lines, and different things like that causes issues with reversing valves. That's my personal opinion on it, okay? Do I ever see AC units with 410A refrigerant? Yes, I do, all the time. What is the science experiment behind me on the wall? The science experiment on the wall behind me is actually in my one of my 2 most recent videos that I just released last week. Okay, actually just yesterday. It is a duct detector, and I explain its operation. I believe the video title is Duct Detector Operation Explained or something like that. I just released it yesterday. Okay, so let's talk about the 2 videos that I released, or 3 videos actually. You guys got a bonus video this week. So I released a walk-in cooler down video last week, okay? And that was one where we had a walk-in cooler down. I went out there, I found a bad condenser fan motor, some electrical shorts in the conduit, replaced the fan motor, got the system back up and running, okay? The compressor had shut off on thermal overload. It was, just one of those investigative things as usual, like I normally do. The next video that I released was a duct detector tripped video, and that was an actual service call where I had a duct detector that was full of water, and it was causing a nuisance trip. I ended up repairing it. There was an existing duct detector. You'll have to watch the video to understand exactly what happened, but it was a pretty interesting one. And then because of that video, I figured, you know what? I'm going to make a new video where I took that smoke detector training board behind me and I broke down a duct detector, showed the alarm condition, the trouble condition, the end-of-line resistor, and showed and explained why and what the operation was, okay? I'm going to look at the chat here real quick and see what I have. Have I ever been able to pump down a system because the TXV is too plugged up? have I never been able to pump down a system because the TXV is too plugged up? Good point. Yes, that has happened. I've had TXVs or expansion valves where the power head has failed, the valve fails in the closed position, and then it makes it very hard to pump down the system. And in fact, you actually end up having to recover the system, unless it's a multiplex system. Okay, I deal with a lot of multiplex systems where we have multiple evaporators, multiple solenoid valves, multiple TXVs. In that situation, all you would have to do is energize all the other solenoid valves and the refrigerant will flow through the system. But if it's a single evaporator system with a single expansion valve, and the expansion valve fails in the closed position, you are going to have a very hard time pumping the system down. You will have trapped refrigerant in there, and in that situation, you are more than likely going to have to recover the refrigerant out. Let's see what else. Let me see what I'm missing in here. Oh, look, you guys are going to get it pretty quick because the movie quotes are already popping up. So the song quotes are going to be coming shortly after that. So remember, it's the song quote, not the movie quote. Don't start sending me a bunch of emails about the movie quote. I'm still curious if anybody can guess what movie that is, but there's no prize for the movie quote. It's only for the song, artist, and title in my email, hvacrvideos@gmail.com. Have I ever found a control board with a relay stuck with the indoor blower motor on? Not that I can recall, but that doesn't sound like something that would be uncommon where the indoor blower motor relay would be stuck on or something like that. But I can't recall that ever being a problem. So what could cause a compressor to lock up? All sorts of things can cause a compressor to lock up. Most of the time, it's going to be some sort of a mechanical failure inside the compressor. But what caused the mechanical failure is the question. The big picture diagnosis is going to lead you to that problem. Okay, so let me see. I'm going to go ahead and go to my list of things. So let's talk about my walk-in cooler down video, the first one that I released last week. So on that video, I went there, the compressor, actually the system wasn't running. It was off on thermal overload. It reset itself by the time I walked up. And then I found that a condenser fan motor wasn't working. I got a bunch of feedback on that one in different ways. Okay. First off, there was way too many wires crammed in that conduit. It was very difficult, and I ended up having to peel back the conduit and try to find the short. I ended up creating a short, found another short, but not the short for that motor. I never found an electrical short for the circuit that the motor that was bad on it was actually, I never found an electrical short on that circuit, okay? They just had that conduit jammed full of multiple wires. So why did I change the motor in that situation, okay? And that was one I got a lot of feedback for. More or so, it was personal experience. First off, we do the process of elimination. The fuse was blown. I didn't find any direct shorts. Traced down the wiring. Checked the wiring from the contactor all the way to the motor. No electrical shorts, no broken wires. Tested the capacitor for the motor. The capacitor was fine. Then I had to make a judgment call. Do I just start it up and say, let's see if anything happens? Okay. Do I grab a mega ohm meter and meg out the wires? That would have been a good solution, but I don't own a mega ohm meter. Okay. Or a megger. I haven't had the need for one at this time. Maybe someday I'll get one or something. But the next thing was, it's just a process of elimination. If the fuse was blown, there's no electrical short in the wiring, it's got to be the condenser fan motor. So I changed it. So I did make an educated guess. Okay. There's a potential that there was something else wrong with that. There is. Okay. Because I did make an educated guess, but I will say, to my defense, I made an educated guess because of experience. I work with those particular refrigeration racks quite often, and I know that we have a high failure rate on condenser fan motors. The second thing is that I lost my train of thought there for a second. But where was I going with that? Sorry, brain fart. Totally lost my train of thought. Let's see. I'll think of it here in just a second. So, all right. Let's see. Sorry, just brain fart happens too often. Yeah. Guys, questions in the chat, put them in caps lock, and I'll definitely try to get to them, okay? With the, I'm going to say right now again, because I know there's some more people that just came in, the first person to guess the song, artist, and title and send me an email, hvacrvideos@gmail.com. There'll be lyrics posted in the chat. The first person to send me an email, If you live in the United States, I'm going to send you a set of field piece job link probes. And guys, if you live outside the United States, we'll have to figure something out about the freight, you know. But the first person to send me an email to hvacrvideos@gmail.com. Okay, the moderator bot is going to post it in there. But yeah, sorry, again, I lost my train of thought. I got sidetracked there. Let me see. Hey, there's my buddy Ralph. How you doing, Ralph? Okay, do I ever work on henny penny equipment? Damien, no, I don't do any hot site equipment, Damien. Sorry, bud. Let me see what else. Oh, all right. Damn it, that one's too easy. You guys, that one is too easy. If you guys don't guess that song quote quick style, that's ridiculous. I didn't even realize that was going to be the first one. Oh, gosh, that's a really easy one. All right, it's already up, guys, so you better guess it. First person to send me an email to hvacrvideos@gmail.com with the artist and song title wins a field piece job link probe set. Is superheat and subcooling the same for any system? Dion, I don't understand what you mean by that, bud. I mean, are you saying should it be the same for every system? No, not necessarily. So I need some more context. I honestly feel like that's going down a path that maybe you need to send me an email and ask me that question, bud. So let me see. RX11 or no on burnouts? Mel, no, I don't use additives in the systems. I've done RX11 in the past. I've had, I wouldn't say good luck with it. I haven't burnt out compressors, but I've just decided to not use additives in my system, such as RX11 flush. I'd rather just purge with just plain old nitrogen and take care of the problem. So, yeah, I do not use any additives in my systems. So, I'm just kind of curious if anybody... Oh, yeah, we already got tons of emails. So I'm going to have to go through and see who was the first. But, yeah, I already got tons of emails here. Let me see. No. Oh, man. You guys, all right. There's already emails. Someone already won. You guys got to give me a minute, though, here. Let me see. Yeah, I'll have to look through, but someone's already won. My email's blown up. There's like 30 emails in there. That's too funny. All right. But, yeah, as far as I'll have to figure out who was the first, I'll send you an email back after the stream. So, as far as the giveaways, guys, that's just something fun that I had at my shop, and I figured why not. I can't always do that kind of stuff, okay? So I don't want to lead. That's why I didn't like promote this or anything on my channel or anything like that. I don't want it to draw people that don't normally watch my live streams. I figured I'd just do it as a bonus for you guys that normally watch the live streams, okay? So maybe someday in the future we'll do another giveaway like that, but that was it for now. And like I said, people have already guessed it, but I need to go through and see who was the first before I announce it. So I'll send an email after the stream, okay? All right. Aldo Martinez, 460 voltage motor. What's the max voltage? Is it? I don't know, Aldo. Usually it's rated on the motor depending on what type of motor it is. Off the top of my head, I want to say 10% over, but I don't know that to be a fact. Okay, that's my gut tells me 10% over voltage, but I don't know that to be true for sure. Have I ever changed protocol for void? No. That sounds like a controls issue, and I've never dealt with that. All right, let's see. Yeah, everybody sent me the email, guys. So, yeah, no worries. All right. Do I have a spare Copeland scroll compressor? I have all kinds of Copeland scroll compressors on the side of my house, but they're not operational. They're not for anybody. They're for me to cut up and experiment with. So one of my projects that I'm going to be working on soon is an experiment where I take a Copeland, or I mean a compressor that's operating. I have a few 115 volt compressors that are still running. And then also I have some 208 volt 3-phase compressors, and I want to wire one up to one of those VFDs and try to see if I can make it operate once I've cut it up and run it slow and different stuff like that. So that'll be an experiment we'll do sometime soon. Let me see. Basic questions so we can help out. Okay, yeah. All right. Let me see. All right. Milky colored vacuum pump oil after a few minutes of runtime usually indicates moisture in the system. So that's probably a very moisture laden system, but you also have to be careful because when you start up a vacuum pump, such as my field piece vacuum pump, right when you start it up, especially if you open the gas or if you don't open the gas ballast, the oil will kind of change a little bit in color as it pulls out that first initial bit of air and moisture. Give it a minute, it'll kind of tone down. But if it literally turns milky and stays milky even after you shut it off, then it's time to change your oil and do another oil change and keep doing it until the oil clears up. So All right. Duct detector. So I talked about, made a video about a duct detector, and I broke it down at a restaurant and showed the operation. Now, in that situation, we had a redundant duct detector or smoke detector that was already installed in the RTU unit. And I was able to utilize the existing duct detector and just rewire the system. Now, in a perfect world, yes, I would have called the fire alarm company, had them come out, run their red jacketed control voltage to the duct detector from that junction box. But all I had was regular brown jacketed thermostat wire. So it is what it is, okay? In that situation, though, too, I got a lot of questions about that because I did point out that I was a little frustrated with the installing contractor of that RTU unit. It wasn't me. I actually lost that job. But anyways, it is what it is. I'm not bitter or anything, you know. But no, I actually lost that job. And that is not the first thing that I pointed out. After they did the installation, the customer called me back because I do their normal service work, and they called me back, and I found all kinds of problems. I mean, it's still not even ideal. You saw that funky gas line, like how close it was to the condenser. That's because I called them on the gas line. I was like, what the heck? You guys, it was just stupid. Anyways, long story short, I'm over that. I'm not bitter. But that's a good point. I really am not bitter, you know, because you get what you pay for. And in that situation, I know that the installing contractor made some mistakes. You could see it in the shoddy work that he did running the conduit through the ductwork and stuff like that in my video, okay? But, you know, people are asking me, why didn't you tell the customer, or why did I not expose the contractor's name? Because I actually took the contractor's installation sticker off the unit that says their name. They know who they are because they watch my videos on a regular. They're one of my local competitors. But I just don't want to blow nobody up. Enough. I know that a lot of their technicians watch my videos, so that's satisfaction enough for me to be able to say, hey guys, you did something wrong here. Even if that's not the technician that did the work, they know who they are. So, you know, whatever, they can figure that one out. But I'm not going to go to my customer and start complaining, you know, oh, wow, you know, they made it, this is their problem. I don't do that. When I go downstairs to the customer, I just say, hey, look, there's a bad smoke detector and there happens to be an extra one. And when they ask, well, why is there an extra one? And I said, well, I mean, to be honest with you, the installing contractor didn't hook up the one that came with the unit. So I was able to utilize what was there, and it was just, okay, whatever, you know, I got it working. I'd rather not talk bad about someone at least and name them if I don't have to. So there's no point in going out there, putting their information out there, anything like that. That's not what my channel's for. My channel's just to try to share the little bit of knowledge that I have, okay? But I do have to acknowledge the fact that I am human, and I do show frustration sometimes, where I may vent some feelings or different things, but it is what it is. So let's see what's going on in the chat, what I missed. Yeah, the movie is Hunger Games. I actually watched those between yesterday and today. I watched them all with my wife and my daughter because we were bored. So we watched the last one today. I read those books. Those were actually, if you guys haven't read the Hunger Games books, they are so much better than the movies. Those ones are amazing. Start from in the last Hunger Games book, I couldn't put it down. I read it all in one day. My eyes hurt, my head hurt, but I read it all in one day. Are all units required to have duct detectors, even older units? Damien, well, it depends on your local codes, your local city codes, county codes, whatever, depending on who's the controller of your municipality in your area. In my area, anything over 2,000 CFMs, I think that's what it is. 2,000 CFMs of air movement has to have a duct detector. I believe that's the code. So basically anything over 5 tons has to have a duct detector in my area. I think that's what it is. Again, I don't do a lot of installations. That's just what I remember off the top of my head. Let's see what else I'm in. Big money talk. Some mechanics lowball and do horrible jobs. You get what you pay for. Yeah, and to be fair, Primetime, I don't do installation work. The reason why I didn't get that job, to be completely honest, is because I brought up to the customer's attention that I wanted to get the city involved, and that we were going to have a crane on site for a very long time. There was some tricky electrical issues, and I needed an electrician on site. And, you know, they decided to go with someone else. So that's why. It is what it is. To be honest with you, I bid it really high because I needed to cover my butt, and I knew the city was going to get involved. And with the city involved, they raise all kinds of red tape, and it just becomes a nightmare of duct testing and different stuff like that. So I have a strong feeling that the city wasn't involved, but yeah, you know, again, not my problem. Can I connect a 240 volt compressor to a 10 amp relay board? Helpful and cool videos. I have no idea, but it depends on how many amps that compressor draws. So, you know, your inrush current is going to be a big issue, your startup current. But yeah, it just depends on what size or what the current draw of the compressor is, and that's going to tell you and how fast that fuse is going to blow on that 10 amp circuit. So yeah. Have I ever had a compressor blow or lock up while I was working on it? I can't say that I've had a compressor blow or lock up directly. Well, yeah, I guess I have. I mean, I've had I've had compressors lock up, not blow up though. I've never seen anything blow up while I was working on it. I take that back. I've blown up VFD drives or VFDs. Sorry, I'm going to trigger everybody because I said VFD drive. I've blown up VFDs because I didn't hook them up right. I hooked the line voltage to the load voltage and they go boom, makes a big old explosion. The capacitors blow out and everything. It's not fun. So you only usually do that once, hopefully. When do I not recommend using job link probes? Redo Felix. I go between the job link probes and the field piece manifold quite often. It just depends on the situation. You know, if it's really hot outside, really, really hot in the summertime, and I'm working out in the desert where it can get like 110, 120 degrees, oftentimes I'm not going to grab my job link probes because my phone typically overheats and you need your phone to work your job link probes. That's a time when I'll probably grab a tablet. I mean, a field piece manifold or even a compound manifold, just a normal refrigerant gauges. So, you know, it just depends. But for the most part, I use job link probes for almost everything. I even charge through them. Is superheat and subcooling the same for any system? Dion, it really depends, bud. I need more context to that question. So please send me an email to hvacrvideos@gmail.com and I can help you out a little bit more. I don't know where you're going with that question, so that's why. And for anybody else too, if I don't answer your guys' question, feel free to send me an email. All right. Let me see. Okay, cool. I'm going to go to this right here. So after I did the duct detector video, right, where I showed that, I figured, you know what, I have this trainer board behind me, and I've done one before on my channel, but I decided to do another one. So I did a video where I broke down that training board and, you know, showed everything, the operation, and explained everything. So that's the 3 videos I released last week. 3 videos is a bonus because normally I'm only doing 2. I don't plan on doing 3 again. That was just, I had some spare time yesterday, so I shot an extra one, okay? All right. I talked about COVID-19. I'm going to just cover it again because I know we have a lot of new people in here. So COVID-19, all right, snake oil cures. That's what I have on my notes right here. I'm going to say this again. There is no proven cure that I know of right now or solution for COVID-19, okay? There's no FDA approved, EPA approved, anything that I've heard of at this point. If there's something that I'm missing, please feel free to send me information. But there's no information that I have read yet that says a UV light kills COVID-19 or this particular evaporator coil kills COVID-19 or anything like that, okay? What I need to make sure that you guys understand, again, I am not an expert in this field. There's plenty of people that are much smarter than I that are probably more qualified to talk about this. There is a difference between coronavirus and COVID-19. So the conspiracy theorists out there that say, how come on the back of a bleach bottle it says kills coronavirus? Because the common cold is a coronavirus. The flu is a coronavirus. They're all called coronaviruses. So blame that one on our media and some of our politicians for going around calling this pandemic that we're fighting a coronavirus, okay? It is a coronavirus, but the name of it is COVID-19, okay? And there's nothing that's been proven to cure COVID-19. So if these manufacturers, these supply houses are pushing this particular evaporator coil cleaner to kill COVID-19, they're lying to you, okay? Now, there's a possibility that they might kill them, but we don't have any proven information that says this kills this. I'm saying this because I know we have a lot of new viewers. I talked about this about 15 minutes ago, but I'm just going to keep saying some of this stuff, okay? So covered that. Question that I had in my comments, and I get this one quite often. Why don't I repair more parts? When I have a bad VFD, why don't I change the circuit board in it? When I have a bad circuit board that has a bad relay on it, why don't I unsolder the relay and put a new relay on that circuit board? You certainly can. And there is people out there that do that kind of stuff all the time. I'm not going to say I've never done something like that. Why don't I change bearings in an exhaust fan motor? Okay. First off, you have to understand something. You have to, as a business owner, you have to look at things and you have to say, is this something that I can put myself on the line for? Okay. Is this something that's worth it for me to allow a service technician to go out there and try to diagnose a bad relay on a circuit board and then spend 3 hours unsoldering that relay, picking one up, installing it? Tommy 6312, thank you very much for that super chat, dude. That is awesome. Amazing. Much appreciated, not expected, but thank you, dude. That super chat is awesome, okay? So I have to be practical, especially when I have service technicians, okay? I can't be going out there fixing things. Now, if I went out there, yes, certainly, I could unsolder a relay off of a control board. And if I do it, then what happens is the customer expects us to do something like that all the time. And then on top of that, you have the warranty issue. Well, what happens if that relay is not the problem and you spent 3 hours trying to fix it and you still have to change the board? What happens if that board still fails a year, within a year later? The customer wants you to warranty it. When it comes to certain parts like this, bearings in a motor, small enough motor, a circuit board on a VFD, it's not worth it to me, okay? Because I have to warranty my work and I have service technicians that I have to rely on, and getting them to be that in depth to be able to diagnose and replace a circuit board in a component can be kind of difficult, okay? And what I mean by that is like the circuit board in a VFD or something like that, okay? When the parts are cheap enough, you just got to look at it and say, yeah, that's not worth fixing. We're just going to quote a part replacement, okay? So I'm not just trying to throw parts at people's crap. I'm making educated decisions and I have to be logical about stuff. Dion, you said, you mean, is superheat and subcooling the same amount of degrees Celsius for any system? No, it is not the same. You do not need 10 degrees subcooling and 10 degrees superheat for every system out there. Okay. Every system's going to be different. Every system's going to require different stuff, if that's what you're asking, Dion. All right, let's see what else. Yeah, exactly. Apple juice. Thank you very much. All right. What's my view on hard start kits? Rito Felix, my view is this. If I have a compressor that's having a hard time starting, all right, I will put a hard start kit on it and I will warn the customer, hey, this compressor's starting to fail. The bearings are starting to go bad. Something inside of it's getting tight. I can put this hard start kit on it. It's probably going to solve your problem temporarily, but just understand at any given time past this point, we could have a problem. I have installed hard start kits on compressors that were not running. They ran for 2-3 years longer. They ran fine. So I just give the information to the customer and I let them know. Now, here's the difference though. A 3-in-1 start kit, right? You've got the little 3-in-1 start kit that you use for refrigeration compressors. I do not trust those as far as I can throw them. All right. And here's why. If you pull apart a 3-in-1 start kit, not a hard start, but a 3-in-1 start kit. Many manufacturers make them. Okay. There's one really popular one. I'm not going to name them, but you guys can name them in the chat. If you pull it apart, it says that this compressor, it's made for a 115 volt compressor for a 3rd horsepower. Okay. Okay. That sounds great. If you pull that start capacitor apart and you look at the microfarad rating on it, I can pretty much guarantee you it is not going to be the same microfarad rating as the start capacitor on the existing compressor. They use that oftentimes. They'll oversize them. They'll do different stuff. So the reason why I don't trust them is because they're not really designed by the OEM to go on that system. Okay. Plus, they don't have a true current relay or a true potential relay. Oftentimes, they have a little circuit board. Jeff, dude, thank you very much, man. I really, really appreciate that super chat, Jeff. That is flippin' awesome, dude. Thank you. Wow, that is, dude, thank you, Jeff. That is blown away, man. That is so cool, dude. Thank you very much, Jeff. You are the man. And yes, I am not a fan of doing side work. It's just not worth it for me. So, oh, wow. Change the subject, but it's all good, Jeff. You start me on another thing about side work. I've had customers that come up to me because they didn't know that I own the company, and I'm sitting at a restaurant and he says, hey man, you work air conditioning and refrigeration. Do you want to do side work? That immediately turns me off because that means he's a cheap ass and he doesn't want to spend real money to get stuff fixed right. So yeah, I'm not a fan of side work though. So anyways, on the 3-in-1 start kits, I just don't like them. Okay. Now I will use a 3-in-1 start kit to start a compressor just to see if it works. And I'll even maybe leave it on there temporarily until I order the correct starting components and then I can go back. Okay. I have done that. In fact, I think I have a video that I haven't released yet that I did just that thing. I had a 3-in-1 in my van. I put it on there. No, you know what? I had a turbo multi-start capacitor. But anyways, yeah. But I will use a 3-in-1 to start a compressor just to see if it runs. But, you know, so. Yeah, house projects for sure. Hey, Christian, how you doing, bud? Yeah, the house projects are my gosh. I'm about out of house projects. And Isaiah, HVACR vlogger, I think you posted something on Facebook or YouTube or something like that where you're saying, is everybody running out of house projects? My wife and I have already done the garden. I fixed my wife's closet door. Speaking of that, I built a new refrigerator for my garage. That's funny. And I'm actually going to play that video right now. It's just like a little commercial video for a few minutes. I'll play that and then we'll talk a little bit more. This video is not worthy of my channel. So basically, I'll start it and then you guys will see what I'm talking about. So hang on just a second. And this is one of my little things that I did just because I was bored, dude. All right, so let's go to this one right here. Let's go to this one right here. Nope, not that one. Hold on just a second. I gotta see, I'm not very smart with all this live streaming stuff. There we go. And let me open up this video. And hang on just one second. And I'm going to play this. And this will give me an opportunity to go to the restroom. And let's go to already made full videos. And let's go to garage project. Garage refrigerator. Hold on just one second. Let me transition that over here. Let's go ahead and go here. And I am going to queue this up right now and play this for you guys real quick. All right, today's project, I've got this large 2-door R290 refrigerator that I've done some experimenting on in the past. This is the one that I did the experiment where I put 134A in it. It has been sitting in the back of my house with the 134A in it since I did that experiment a couple months ago. So I went ahead and recovered the 134A and I'm pulling an evacuation on it right now. It's been taking a long time to get all the moisture out of this thing. I'm sorry, out of all the vapor, the refrigerant. So each one of these is me going and shaking the compressor. Every time I do that, the pressures rise, it pulls back down, the pressures rise, it pulls back down lower. The vacuum is much better. Look at my decay rate, it's in decay right now. All right, I just put this guy together and give it a good little rinse, cleaned it out. So we have a Ketotherm evap efficiency controller that handles air defrost. It's also monitoring everything within the box. I also have the Ketotherm, I'm trying to think of what they call this. It's called a Wi-Fi, I don't know what it's called, but it basically connects to the Ethernet port and transmits a Wi-Fi signal so I can remotely grab onto this with my computer as long as it's within Wi-Fi range. I can also connect it to a network, but I'm not going to run a network cable all the way to my router. So you can also hook up a wireless router, but anyways, cleaned and sanitized in here. We've got evaporator sensors, air temperature sensors. Also I used an auxiliary port so I can get ambient air around the condensing unit. Everything's mounted. It's wet because I soaked everything. Ran a receptacle over here that I can plug this guy into. This is just coming out the front. That's the transducer wiring. Back here, I've got the pressure transducer hooked up. I went ahead and left service ports on here. This is R290. I've recharged it with R290. It's basically been running all night. I just put it back together. A couple little things. I had taken the locks off because I didn't have the keys for those. But yeah, it works. I'll pull up the dashboard and show you guys what it looks like on there. All right, I wish it was a freezer, but at least it's a cooler. It's packed here in my garage with a bunch of stuff, but it'll work. Although I just realized it's not sitting level, but it'll be okay. I'm gonna go ahead and load it up with a bunch of, I got a bunch of water and juices and drinks and stuff like that. So we're gonna load it down and put a heavy load on the box, and then we can analyze the system and see how well it's pulling down. I need to order some of the convenience store things that hold the drinks because they all want to fall over because of these racks. But we got a few things packed in here. We left them in the boxes just because everything was falling over. We already had a few casualties. We got some waters and stuff, and I'm a little reluctant about keeping things that can spoil in here.
because in the summertime, it's going to get really hot in this garage, and I may have to come up with a solution for that, because this is going to only add heat to it. So maybe an attic fan or something. We'll have to figure that one out. All right, so here's my dashboard. I'm connected wirelessly via the Wi-Fi connection device. It's called a Wi-Fi service tool, actually. So remember something, this service tool did not have, this evap efficiency controller did not have R290 as a refrigerant, and it's not really meant to be used with R290, and I am doing it. R22 has a very, very close relationship with R290, like pretty darn close. So it's pretty safe to use R22, and that's what I did as my temps, but I'm noticing a few things. The superheat's a little bit off. It's off by about a half a degree to a degree, and it kind of changes. So right now, I think I've got my field piece probes on there, and it's fluctuating a little bit, but it says about 7.5 on the field piece probe, 7.6, and superheat on this says 8. So it's right within, and it kind of goes back and forth, but it seems to be pretty darn good. My box temp, everything else seems to be pretty accurate. My box temp is 35 degrees. I believe it's set for 34. Yeah, everything else is looking good. So we're going to let this thing run for a while. I'm going to monitor it over to the next few weeks. That's it. This Ketatherm dashboard is really cool. If you guys don't or haven't used them before, you can hit a graph. So this is when I started playing with it. This is as it was running overnight, and then this is me today messing with some more stuff, finishing it up, and those numbers will come in so we can watch that. And I think it logs like a month or something like that, or a couple weeks worth of data. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I really like it. Once it's, you know, set up and stabilized out and you don't see all this goofy stuff on here, you can really start to notice trends. You can see refrigerant leaks and all kinds of interesting things. So it's really cool. One thing I will say is that from this point to this point right here, it did one defrost. I woke up this morning and it was actually just getting ready to go into a defrost. It was somewhere right around here before it spiked. And this is when I shut it off, but I'll come back on this and we can play with it a little bit more.
So someone send Ketatherm an email, because I didn't even think about that. They totally got the best free publicity in the world. I have no affiliation with them. I just happen to have a Ketatherm controller sitting in my garage for no reason. I don't think I explained it in the video either. So that controller that I had was from it was left on a job site of a new restaurant build. I don't know. It'd been sitting in the refrigeration rack, and the restaurant actually closed, of all things. So when we were closing down the restaurant, I was like, hey, I just grabbed that thing, and it's been sitting in my garage forever. You can see that it says HTPG because that's for cold zone. And I don't even think they use that controller anymore at cold zone. I think that thing's literally from like 7 years ago or something like that. But it's still the same evap efficiency controller from Ketatherm. So yeah, someone send them an email and tell them what's up. Tell them to look at my live stream. I need a kickback for that. But nah, for real. Dion, what position were you? I had said that Adam won the what did I say? Adam McCombs. I didn't look at everybody else. I kid you not, I got like 40 emails from everybody. So I just went to the first email that said Blink-182 damn it, because that was the song. And so anyways, for those that are just watching right now, I had put, my moderator bot had put a song and a song title in there. And the first person to guess it, I did a giveaway and gave away Field Piece Job Link probes. That's not something that I'm going to do all the time. Someone needs to send Field Piece an email too and tell them what's up. But yeah, that's not something I'm going to do all the time. I just happen to have an not extra set, but I have 3. Anyways, long story short, I have them sitting at my shop for my guys, but I have an extra set. So anyways, I decided to give away a set. So that's not something I'm going to do every single time. That's just something cool that I did this time, just because I know everybody's bummed out and stuff. So, all right. So let's get to some more stuff to talk about in here. LM Sylvia, what is classified as side work if I own my own company? There is no side work if I own my. Well, I mean, I guess there is if you're doing something for cash, but I don't want to do that kind of stuff. I'd rather run it all through the company. Is it possible to use a Copeland scroll compressor as an air pump? Yeah, I don't think it's going to last as long as you want it to, but sure. I mean, you're not going to have the right cooling coming back to that compressor because you have to remember that compressors are refrigerant cooled. So if you try to use it as a permanent air compressor or something like that, it's only going to run for so long. And then when you run it on extended periods of time, it's going to eventually overheat. So especially when the ambient gets really hot outside, there's going to be problems there. So can I show a wiring diagram for a cooling pump down system? I'm sure we can figure something out. I don't have one right now, though. So is it possible to use a I already answered that one. What is my favorite package unit to work on and why? The Linux Prodigy package units are my favorite. Actually, not even the Prodigy. Let's step back to the M13 board. Okay, that's the original Linux L series package unit that had the M13 circuit board. Those were my absolute favorite to work on. And then it went to the M16, then it went to the M17, and then I think it went to the M18, and then I think it went to Prodigy after that. Prodigy 1, and then it went to Prodigy 2, which is what we're at right now. But even the Prodigy 2 are really nice. They're just kind of like Cadillacs to work on. Super easy. So let's see what else I'm missing inside here. Let me close this out. This stupid screen share on my screen right now. Perfect. Okay, so on my list of things to talk about, oh, this is a great thing. So someone had brought it to my attention, and this is a really good point. So I got a lot of comments about the duct detectors in my comments, okay? And it's a very important thing to understand. Some people are saying that they have a lot of duct detectors that get plugged up with different types of stuff. So especially on the older duct detectors, they used to have filters built inside the detectors, okay? They used to have these little styrofoam or foam filters little caps that you would put over the sampling tubes. And oftentimes when those sampling tube caps, the little foam caps, got really old, they would dry out and they would disintegrate, and then they would plug up the detector head and cause nuisance trips. Putting a filter on that duct detector is a good idea, but you have to use special filters designed for that system. Newer duct detectors actually have filters built into the sampling head. So cool little thing to think about there. Let's see. Oh, another good point. When I'm talking about duct detectors, duct smoke detectors, usually what I'll do is I'll give it one shot. So I go out to the service call and I say, hey, you know what? There's a problem here. And it looks like it's beyond me. Honestly, it looks like it's the fire alarm company's problem. Oftentimes we'll get the call first, okay? So we'll go out there, and usually what I'll do, instead of blaming the fire alarm company, right? Because nobody needs to point fingers, even though I know most of the time it is the fire alarm company's problem, I will usually say, hey, I need you to schedule a meetup with the fire alarm company. The fire alarm company will come and meet up with me and we'll diagnose the problem. That way, they don't come out and say, hey, it's the HVAC guy's problem, and I say, yeah, it's their problem. So I usually go out there, give it an initial effort. If I can't figure out the problem, or if I do find that the problem is on their side, I'll still schedule a meetup with them. So that way they can't blame it on me. And when I say blame it on me, and it's not like they're going to say it's my problem. It's just oftentimes the fire alarm company will say, you need to call the HVAC guy. That's a duct detector. When in reality, it's their wiring within the duct detector that's the problem. Or I've even had batteries being bad inside their fire alarm panel and stuff like that. Keep in mind that when you're working on duct detectors, you don't ever want to open up a fire alarm panel. Do not touch them. Do not open them. They usually have a key that locks them up. That is when you violate all kinds of rules, life safety devices and different stuff like that. Most of the time, you're pretty safe, depending on your municipality, if you touch a duct detector or unwire a duct detector. At least my insurance company covers me for that. But anything beyond unwiring a duct detector, opening up a fire alarm panel, that's when you're red tape. Do not touch them. Fire alarm company only. Okay, that is a life safety device for sure. Some areas actually consider duct detectors to be life safety devices, but not in my area. So let's see. So another great question that I had, and I'll get to the chat here in just a minute. Why does it look like I work on the same equipment all the time? That is a question I get all the time. How come you keep working on this same refrigeration rack? You just worked on that walk-in cooler last week. Okay, a Hvacr refrigeration rack is what you guys see in a lot of my videos, okay, and a cold zone refrigeration rack. Those are very common racks in my area. I have probably about 10 to 12 cold zone refrigeration racks out there that all look identical. And I have probably about 10 to 12 Hvacr refrigeration racks that look almost identical. I work for a lot of the same restaurant chains, okay? I would say that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, probably about 6 or 7 different maybe 5 or 6 different restaurant chains that I normally work for that all have similar equipment. So sometimes I may be working on the same equipment. Sometimes it may just look like I'm working on the same equipment, okay? The lines downstairs, the pan chillers and different things, they can look very similar. A lot of you guys, and I appreciate that you guys don't call out the names of the restaurants, because I know a lot of you guys know the names of the restaurants that I'm working at. And we try to keep that stuff private because we want to protect the restaurants. And I know there's a lot of you guys, like Ernesto, HVACR vlogger, if you're still watching, you know a lot of the restaurants that I work in, because in your previous life with your previous company, you used to work for a lot of the same restaurants. So you can look at them and you can say, hey, but you know, we try to keep that stuff private. And in fact, I haven't had to do this in a long time, but the only comments I will ever delete from my YouTube channel, I don't care if you guys criticize me. I'll leave those things in there all day long. I could care less. The only comments I delete is when someone is bashing someone else, like a commenter comes in and starts talking shit to someone else really bad. I delete those, and then I delete any comments that people guess restaurant names. Whether they be right or wrong, I just delete them, because there's no point in trying to guess that stuff. I'm just going to delete it. I try to protect my customers. I'm not going to reveal their locations, even though I know some of you guys, probably a lot of you guys, know what restaurants I'm working on. And what most consumers think is nasty really isn't that bad. So, all right, I'm going to look at the chat and see what else. How long will a Copeland scroll compressor last if I use it to pump water vapor? Water vapor, helpful in cool videos. It's not going to last very long at all, bud. Do I have a video on my charging cylinder? No. That charging cylinder I have never used in my life. One of my previous technicians brought that to me. His dad bought it at a garage sale, and his dad, I don't know if his dad thought of me or if he thought of me, but he just gave me that charging cylinder. So no, I've never used that. I think my dad might, it's called a dial-a-charge. I think my dad might have used those once or twice, but no, I've never used it, and I don't have a video on it. I like cool old tools. I like to collect old tools. I've got an old Annie right there. I have a thermal engineering compressor analyzer. I have my dad's Simpson meter. I have a volume air damper right there. I just like to collect old tools. I think they're cool. So let's see what else. What am I missing here? How much longer does it take me to run service calls when I am recording? Honestly, your boy Daniel. Okay, so I genuinely have some mental problems. I think it's pretty well known that I have some mental problems. And if I am not talking to my phone, I am genuinely talking to myself, okay? I'm crazy. And so the way that I troubleshoot things is I verbalize them out loud. So as I'm troubleshooting, I'm literally saying, okay, I've got voltage to this, I've got voltage to that. So really, it's absolutely no different for me to turn on a camera and hold it up and say, I'm troubleshooting this, I'm troubleshooting that. So I think maybe once or twice I have discounted a customer's invoice because I felt like it honestly took me longer to diagnose something. But for the most part, I don't take any extra time, okay? I'm usually pretty quick. I'm not quick, but I mean, I take the correct amount of time to diagnose things. But I genuinely, the way that I troubleshoot is I verbalize them out loud. So let's see. Let me see what I'm missing. Is it possible for a compressor to overheat by a bad fan motor? Yes, it is, John Deere fan. So it is. So in my most recent video, walk-in cooler down, I had a bad condenser fan motor. And what was happening was the compressor actually had a high pressure control. It's a control that protects the system if it gets too hot, basically, okay, in a nutshell. If the pressure gets too high, the system overheats and it shuts off, okay? So in that situation, that was happening so much that the compressor actually had stopped working and turned off on thermal overload. So it's a protective device, protection safety that's built into the compressor. And actually, I can show you guys right now. This thing is heavy as all get up. This is a scroll compressor. This is the motor section, okay? And right on this right here is the thermal overload. If I can hold this up, it's actually a temperature sensing device that's built onto the windings of the compressor. And when the windings get too hot, it actually turns the compressor off. That is the thermal overload. Sorry about that. That thing is heavy. So that is the thermal overload. So when the windings in the compressor overheat, it actually opens up the thermal overload and turns the compressor off as a protective safety device. So let me see what else I'm missing. Yeah, talking out loud. I talk problems through in my head. And I'm gonna tell you guys how crazy I am. I'll have conversations. I'll rehearse conversations that don't even mean anything in my head as I'm driving down the road. I'll verbalize a conversation as I'm driving down the road, just talking. So, yes, always best to protect. Used to chain smoke and yell at the sun. That's funny. How will the indoor air quality be affected after COVID-19? Christian, I think indoor air quality is going to be it. In fact, Christian, I just had a customer call me today asking me about anything that we can do getting ready for coming out of COVID-19. And what I explained to him exactly was, I think that coming out of COVID-19, there's going to be a big push on indoor air quality. I think restaurants are going to need to fix economizers, which is going to be a huge burden financially to them. I mean, I'd say 90%, 95% of the economizers out on restaurants right now do not work because the customers have opted not to fix them because they don't see the return on investment. What it costs for an economizer, $3,000, whatever it is, right? It costs them far more than that in electricity costs and different things like that. So, they just don't see the return on investment. So, I shouldn't say in electricity costs. The electricity savings doesn't usually equate to them. Okay. So we have many unoperating or, economizers that are not operating properly out there. So I think indoor air quality is going to be a huge thing. I think putting proper filtration in the air. Now, on the flip side, I foresee some problems too. I see customers going to the big box stores, Home Depot and Lowe's, and buying these super expensive $50 air filters that say they remove everything from the air, right? Well, you all know what happens when you put those 3M fancy filters on your systems, right? They have really high static pressure drops and they cause the systems to ice up. So there's going to be all kinds of problems for the residential guys too. They're going to be going out there removing filters, de-icing systems left and right, okay? Your air conditioning system, if you guys don't know this, I know I have a few homeowners that watch this video. Your air conditioning system has to be designed around your air filter, okay? You can't just go buy the fanciest, best filter out there and slap it in your system. That's not how it works. When you build your air conditioning system, when you design the ductwork, the air filter has to come into play in the design process. So you can't go out and buy the fanciest air filter out there because it has a high pressure drop. It doesn't allow very much air through it because it filters the air. When that happens, that adversely affects your ductwork. The way to think about this, for those of you that don't know, think about your ductwork like blood pressure. If your arteries are clogged with cholesterol and all that crap, right? Your heart has a hard time pumping your blood, all right? So your air conditioning system, if your filter is very restrictive, it has a hard time pushing the air through the filter. It causes adverse effects. So probably went off on a whole tangent that I didn't need to. But indoor air quality is a huge thing that's going to come into play. Big time. All right, let's see what I'm missing here. Did I ever think my channel would be as big as it is? No, absolutely not. I never anticipated making this channel. I started making these videos for my own service technicians, okay, as a training aid. I decided to hit public on my videos, and it blew up into this machine that I never expected. I don't treat it as a thing. Like, I'm probably the worst person when it comes to a YouTube channel because I turn down people left and right that want to advertise because I don't like snake oils. I don't like fake crap. That kind of stuff. I'm not in this to make money. I'm not going to lie and say I don't make money because I do. I get ad revenue from YouTube and stuff, and I have a sponsor, Sporlin, but I don't do this. The amount of money that I make from this channel there's not a return on investment. Okay. Because what I put into this is countless hours compared to what I get out of it. So never anticipated it turning into what it's turning into. Do I recommend any books for HVAC residential and commercial? Lewis, let me see. As far as books for residential and commercial, the only book I push, again, I have absolutely no affiliation with it, is Commercial Refrigeration for Air Conditioning Technicians. It is a commercial refrigeration book. It's written by an author named Dick Wurz. There's a link in the show notes of this video. That's the only book that I can honestly say. ESCO Institute, ESCO, has a lot of great training resources out there, okay? I have a buddy, Jason Objut, who works for ESCO. Sorry if I butchered your name, Jason. I think I said it right. I don't think he's watching right now, but they have a lot of great training resources, and I'd highly suggest looking into the ESCO books, ESCO, if you're interested in any kind of training books. So let me see what I'm missing. What's the common issues with economizers and why do they stop working? The most common issues with economizers is because the control boards are installed in the airstream, they oftentimes will rot out. So the electronics fail. If you have the old Honeywell black box, which is the very common economizer, one of the more common ones, the terminal board would corrode because of the air coming through it. So if you wanted to design the perfect economizer, you'd have a simple damper that was not in the airstream, that was somehow on the outside of the airstream with a damper motor on the outside of the airstream, and all the electronics would be on the outside of the airstream. And you would have a simple thermistor type sensor, not a circuit board, sitting in the airstream too. But the most common issue with economizers are circuit boards rotting out or corroding because of the outdoor air being laden with moisture and different stuff like that. I went blurry. I don't know why I went blurry. What's the comment? Oh, I already answered that one. I much appreciate you guys watching this. Okay. Did Blue On, did you guys see Blue On ads this time? I'm kind of curious. I blocked Blue On from the channel, so I'm just curious if you guys have been seeing Blue On ads. You shouldn't be seeing Blue On ads on my channel anymore. Do they have electronic air filters for commercial units? Do they work? I wouldn't buy into the electronic air cleaners myself. Honestly, I can't say that they work or they don't work. It seems like a gimmick to me, but sure, send me some documentation if you guys think that they're not a gimmick, but I don't see the need in an electronic air filter. I just think a good pleated air filter system with proper fresh air is the way to address these issues. All right, let's see what else. Okay, cool. Right on. I think majority of the people say no Blue On, but some people say they did. Yeah, I think YouTube blocked them. I did, guys, see a big drop in revenue, by the way, from the channel. Quite a sizable drop in revenue when you look at numbers, but whatever. It is what it is. Yeah, you're in Europe, Sterling, so it's hard to see that. Guys, Sterling watches all the way from France, which is really interesting. And it's like 2 or 3 in the morning for Sterling right now, which is crazy. That's dedication, man. Did I get rid of the ads before my vids because you saw nothing? Anyone else? You should have seen ads, Justin, but just not, hopefully not Blue On ads. But yeah, there should have been ads before because I monetized the video. So there should be something. And like I have the ability, like right now, I'm going to screw you guys right now. I'm curious. I'm going to push a button right now. I don't know if it works or not. I just pushed a button. Did you guys see an ad right now? I'm curious if you guys see one. I just pushed a button and I don't know if that actually works. I have this button on my screen that says insert ad and I don't know if it actually does something. So, new death scope. Send me an email because that's a pretty long question. Actually, you did send me an email, dude. I vaguely remember. I think I just haven't answered your email yet. Let me see. Have I ever put something like conformal coating on the board of the economizer? No, I have not, Adam McCombs. I've never done that. All right. Yeah, look at that, man. Seb22601 is from Germany. That's awesome, man. You guys international viewers, that is flipping awesome. I can't believe that people internationally are watching these videos. That's insane. Button no work. See? Yep. Up. Some of you guys saw him. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting how some of you see him, some of you don't. Well, I have no idea how that works. I'm the worst person at this whole crap with advertisers and different stuff. I just don't even know how it works. So, all right, I got a couple more things on my list here. Really good question. I get so many questions about the low voltage, and I get so many people saying I need to talk to my local utility. Guys, Southern California, it is very common to see at the low end 197 volts and at the high end 245 volts, okay? Somewhere between there. That is very common. For the most part, I deal with 208 volt equipment, so I see 197 to 212 is the voltage that I see. So 197, people email me and they say, oh my gosh, your voltage is too low. You need to contact the utility. Okay, so here's how the electric utility works out here. If I tell the customer to call the utility, what happens? Most of the time we see our low voltage issues in the summertime. If I see low voltage and I tell the customer to call the utility, I'm not kidding with you. The utility will show up at like 10 o'clock at night when the demand on the grid is really low, and they'll test voltage and be like, it's fine. Nothing wrong. Okay. The utility knows they have low voltage. It's just a thing in California. In the summertime, when it gets really hot, our power grid is stressed to the max and they know it. And there's not so much they can do because we have so many people out here. So it is what it is. YouTube is listening. That's right. Let's see what else. How can you get fresh air into a residential basement? Fifi HVAC. There is fresh air systems for residential. Whether I do not know the names of those systems, but I do know that you can make fresh air systems. Now, to get it into a basement, you'd have to do some serious duct work, adding fresh air dampers, fresh air vents to the outside and stuff like that. But you can do it. It's just going to be some work. Let's see what else. California is absolutely ridiculous with our emissions. No, Joseph, you asked if anybody has used the Blue One refrigerants. I have absolutely nothing bad to say about their product. I've never used their product. I will say that I don't like their marketing, but never used their refrigerants. No, they're certainly targeting every single YouTube channel out there, is from what I've heard. Everybody is seeing Blue On ads. I will say they're probably hurting themselves with the way that they're targeting the market. But yeah, to each their own. I have nothing bad to say. I will say something right now. My buddy Ralph is always within the chat. I don't know if he's still in here or not. I'm going to put his email in here. If any of you guys has refrigerant related questions, Ralph works for Honeywell Refrigerants. Hit him up. I got no affiliation with him at this point in time, but Ralph is the coolest dude in the world. Just had a phone conversation with him today, asking about sending giveaway items to people that we did a giveaway a couple weeks ago. You know, Ralph is just a cool dude, and he's always willing to answer stuff, and he's not trying to necessarily push his product on you. He's just genuinely trying to answer stuff. Obviously, he's going to give you the solutions that they have, but he's a cool dude, so send him an email. What's my way of coping with dirty voltage issues for my clients? If I absolutely have to, I'll put a voltage monitor on there, like a ICM 450. It's been a while since I put one on. I think that's what it is. It's a phase monitor, and it monitors voltage too. So I've done that in situations like it'll monitor 3-phase voltage, and if any leg gets too low, it shuts the system off. So I'll just put a phase monitor on there, or I'll tell them to call the local utility. How to fix a microchannel leak. My buddy Brian over at HVACR School has some videos on using solder weld products to fix microchannel leaks. But essentially on a microchannel leak, what you're going to do is completely cut that circuit out of the system. So go over to hvacrschool.com or the HVAC School YouTube page. And Brian has some videos on fixing microchannel leaks. I'd lean on him. He can probably help you out a little bit more on that one. If you sent me an important email, please, Dion, for sure, bud. Send me an email. I'll definitely consider it, man. hvacrvideos@gmail.com. Did I see the device HVAC School used for power issues on the condenser? I don't know if I saw it or not, Nate. I think I saw some kind of a device. I can't remember what it was. Was it like a Danfoss device or something like that Brian had posted a video about? But I don't know. I don't remember what it was on. I didn't watch the video. How will restaurants look like after COVID? Well, mom and pop restaurants are going to have a really hard time. I actually know of one mom and pop restaurant that is not doing good at all, and they're actually going to permanently close one of their 3 locations. So unfortunately, some mom and pops are going to close their doors permanently. There's a restaurant chain out there, Logan's Roadhouse. I read an article. I don't know if it's absolutely true. It could be fake news. Who knows? I read an article that Logan's Roadhouse closed permanently across the United States, but I do know it's not just because of COVID, because a lot of people have since sent me emails saying they've been having a hard time for a long time. A lot of the big chain restaurants are going to survive this, but there's certainly going to be changes. The restaurants are definitely going to be leaning on their providers, their service providers, and asking them for discounts and price that kind of stuff. It's going to be hard. And in all honesty, if you guys think about it this way, I got the Coke nose as the freaking stream goes on, right? if you guys think about it this way, as this goes on, right? If the restaurants can survive the whole COVID time, right? We've been off for like 5 weeks now. We haven't been working. If the restaurants can survive that, that's not even the worst, in my opinion. The worst is going to be the first quarter after we come out of this, because they're going to have an influx of people coming back into the restaurant, right? They're going to be mixed results, but I think they're going to be busy. But the repair bills for the first 3 months out of this are going to be through the roof. They're going to be insane. So financially, their first quarter out of this is going to be bad for them. So the restaurants are going to hurt because of that. If they actually survive it, it's going to be scary. So yeah, it's a whole new world, man. All right. Yeah, Rector seal, something like that. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, I did see something about a Rector seal thing. Yeah. Is wetting the condenser a good idea to add the winter charge? Vic, that's a very dangerous idea because you could very easily overcharge a system by wetting a condenser. So the theory is by wetting a condenser, you drop the condensing temp in theory, and the head pressure control valve starts to flash like it was a cold day. And then you add refrigerant and you clear the sight glass. But potentially you could way overcharge the system, okay? So the best way to charge a system that needs a winter charge because it has a head pressure control device is to use the Sporlan 90-30-1 method or lean on the manufacturer. If it's a microchannel, Heatcraft actually recommends putting the maximum field charge in the system. They publish that information. For a lot of systems, it's 14 pounds, but for some other ones, it's different. And basically, that's just 3/4 of the receiver. But yeah, I do not suggest wetting a condenser to do the winter charge on a system. You could severely overcharge that system and cause some dangerous issues. Yeah, hit the thumbs up for sure. What are some of the unique services that can be provided in HVACR after outbreak? Rito, proper preventative maintenance, just plain and simply cleaning evaporators, changing filters, educating customers on why they need to bring fresh air into their houses and fresh air into their buildings is going to be, in my opinion, one of the biggest selling points after COVID. If the customers, let's talk about a restaurant. If the restaurant can say, hey, we've had our equipment properly sanitized, we bring proper air into the building, we exchange the air, so that way when the customer breathes out their infected air, it's leaving the building almost immediately. That's going to be a great selling point. So I think that's going to be a big selling point, and that goes for residential too. All right. There was an interesting article that I read over this last week that said the dirtiest air that you will ever breathe is in your own home. Let that one sit. That is the dirtiest air that you will ever breathe. Now, that was one article, but that was an interesting article that really made you think. Where are we all at right now? Where have we been sitting for the last 5 weeks? In our home, breathing that dirty air. So let's filter that air. Let's bring fresh air in. Let's not just recirculate the nasty air that's in our house that we're breathing out, right? Clean the air in our homes. That's a very important thing in my opinion. Do I know Rudy Shackelford? I sure do know Rudy Shackelford. Rudy Shackelford is a very good friend of mine. We are involved. Both of us have not been involved as much as we probably want to be, but we have been involved in RSCS together. We've ran our local RSCS chapter. We've both been part of the board. Rudy worked for a very big company, and him and I communicate probably about once every 2 months or something like that. We'll have a phone conversation. So yeah, Rudy and I are good friends. Is a garden hose to clean a condenser, is that good enough? As long as it actually cleans the condenser, Adam, that's a very good thing. All right. Was it harder for me to learn the electrical side or the refrigeration side? Refrigeration side for sure. You know what? I'm going to even one-up you. It wasn't the refrigeration side. It wasn't the electrical side. It was the air side. That's the hardest thing. To this day, I still don't fully understand psychrometrics enough to be able to teach psychrometrics. Psychrometrics is one of the most confusing aspects of our trade, in my opinion, to me. Okay. I have just enough understanding to get me into trouble, but psychrometrics is the lifeblood of our industry. Understanding air and the properties of air and how to move air when it's wet, when it's dry, what happens when you oversaturate air, what happens if you don't remove the humidity. Psychrometrics, in my opinion, is the hardest thing to learn in our industry. And if you can learn psychrometrics, everything else is going to fall into place. Hey, Zach, how you doing, bud? Quality HVACR. Good guy. Zach has a good channel. Lots of great videos on his channel for sure. So, all right. Let's see. All right, guys. I am going to go ahead and wrap this up. I really, really appreciate you guys. I covered all the things that I needed to cover. I think we might have broke a record today again. I don't know. I just looked over and I saw 270 people in this stream. We might have hit 270 last week. I can't remember. Anyways, that's awesome. For those of you guys that come to this, that is flipping amazing, okay? Really cool. You guys are awesome. I'm going to go ahead and cue up the outro music. Really, really appreciate you guys coming into here. And we will catch you guys on the next one. Uh-oh. I've still got more drink left. Still got a little bit more left, so got a little more time here. Yeah. We'll do this whole encore thing. See, we see all the people drop off. And then we kind of do the encore thing. You know, it's kind of cool. Kind of cool. All right. Let's see what else we got going on in this chat. Empty. Yep, not anymore. I tell you what. Now that half the stream dropped out, give me a second to think this one through. Give me a sec. What is Dawson Joseph? Thank you very much, man. I really, really appreciate this. That super chat is awesome, dude. Thank you so very much. What is a good subcooling temp to start at? Dion, any subcooling is better than no subcooling. That's the way I look at it, right? It depends on what you're working on, bud. If you're working on a refrigeration system that has a receiver and an expansion valve, subcooling doesn't do a whole lot to me. So long as you have some subcooling and you have a clear sight glass, you're good to go. If you don't have an expansion valve, well then I'd start somewhere around 10 degrees subcool. I mean, sorry, if you don't have a receiver and you're working on an air conditioner, I'd start somewhere around the 10 degrees, 8 to 10 degrees, and then start from there. But you need to lean on the manufacturer and see what they recommend. But any subcooling is better than no subcooling. Let's see what else. What are we missing? You haven't seen a ladder, so you gained 5 pounds. Yeah, Christian. I've been lacking on my diet. So for the last 3 to 4 months, Christian and I know each other, by the way. But for the last 3 to 4 months, I haven't had sugar in my diet completely, and I lost a ton of weight. And yeah, I've been breaking that diet lately, and I've been having sugar. My daughters have been making cookies and stuff, and I've been getting back into it. So yeah, I'm having a hard time. What's the beer of choice tonight, Zach? Same as every night, man. Rogue Hazelnut Brown Nectar. That is my beer. Someone send Rogue an email. Tell them to send me something because I'm promoting their crap all the time. The Rogue beer is my favorite. It's a coffee flavored beer. It's not even coffee. It's hazelnut, but it has a slight coffee taste to it. It's like kind of like a Newcastle with just a mix of coffee in it. Really good. Really, really good. It is the shiz, huh? New rules. No technical on after show. Okay. That's fair enough. Okay. So I'm trying to think. I can't quite think this up. I'm trying to think of how I can do this. How can I do what I have the idea in my head right now? Okay. I know how I can do this. For those of you guys that are in the after show right now, I have an idea. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come up with a movie quote right now. And the first person to guess the movie quote when I put it in the chat is going to get something cool. Okay. Oh, this is going to be such an easy one too. Oh man, you guys, So be ready because there's going to be a movie quote. And if you guess the movie quote, I have a second set of field piece job link probes I'll send out to you. Okay, you're going to have to send me an email to hvacrvideos@gmail.com. And this is for the people that are still in the stream right now. Okay, so I figured, what the hell? I got another set. So totally awesome. All right, hold on just a second. Let me come up with the movie quote. Let me get the exact quote. You guys be ready. Get my email ready. You guys know my email, hvacrvideos@gmail.com. Okay. And be ready for it because when I post it in here, you guys, this is going to go really quick too. So the first person to email me with the movie title is going to win another set of field piece job link probes. Again, permitting that you live in the United States. If you live outside of the United States, we'll have to figure something out on the freight and you're going to have to help me out on that. Okay. But if you live in the United States and you guess the movie quote when I post it in the chat, you're gonna get this one. And sorry, Joe, I know you're not good on movie quotes, so my bad. All right, hold on just a second. Hold on, let me see. Oh my gosh, guys. If you guys don't get this movie quote, oh gosh, this is your homework assignment, okay? You have to email me. Don't guess it in the chat. You have to email me, okay? So, hold on a second. All right. It's coming right now. So, again, check this out. hvacrvideos@gmail.com is my email address. Okay. This is a super easy movie quote. So, when I hit send right now, it's going to post in there. If you guess this, the first person to send me an email, I'm going to send you a set of field piece job link probes. Okay. Dude, easy movie quote. Okay. It is not Hunger Games because that was the movie earlier, okay? Super easy. All right, here we go. Ready? Come on, guys. First person to send me an email, you're going to win this. Come on. You know you could do it. Don't guess it in there. Don't guess it in the chat. Send me an email. First person to send me an email. I'll announce it right now. It is not Animal House, Dave Weaver. Not quite right. It is so easy. Steve, you know it. Dude, epic movie. The swimming pool scene in this movie is my childhood. Okay, hold on. They're coming through. Someone already got it. So stop emailing me. I'm going to find the first person that said it. I'm going to tell you right now. Oh, snap. Hold on. It is not Die Hard. It is not Animal House. Ike. Dude, you won it. It is Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Ike won. Ike, send me your email address. Send me your address and your phone number, and I'll send you a set of field piece job link probes. Okay, that's all I got for today on those field piece job link probes, by the way, too. Yes, it is Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Okay. If you guys haven't watched Fast Times at Ridgemont High, that is your homework right now. Do not watch it with your kids in the room, okay? Jeff Spicoli has got to be an idol that you need to grow up and want to be, is Jeff Spicoli, okay? Not in real life because he's a libtard, but not getting political or anything, okay? But, yeah, dude, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Amazing movie. Ike, you got it, bud. Send me an email, Ike. So, let's see. Right on. No, it is not Hunger Games. Oh, that's funny. Cable Guy, nope. That's funny. So many. All right. That is an awesome movie, too. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. You guys definitely got to watch that. So I got 2 field piece job link probes to send out. So that's all I got, though, on those. So no more of those. I'm out. All right. Cool. So that's that. Man, guys, it is awesome. It is kind of fun. I look forward to these live streams. It's cool to do these. This is fun. Yeah, Zach. This is something that I started doing because people were joking around. Actually, I don't remember who was the first person to ask me. It might have been Joe, HVACR North, asked me to do this to come into the live thing. But I can't do that all the time. Don't expect that from me, guys. Those things have been sitting in my closet for a long time. So that was cool, though. Technically, you won, Steve, but you didn't send me an email. So you got to send me an email next time. Yeah. If you guys haven't watched Fast Times at Ridgemont High, gotta watch it, not with your kids in the room. The swimming pool scene, oh my flipping gosh, man. I watched that movie at a very young age when I was a kid. Life in Stereo is the song that's playing in the swimming pool scene. And every time to this day, and I believe it's the Cars, right? Is it the Cars? Who sings Life in Stereo? I think it's the Cars. I think it is. Is it? No, it's not the Cars. Who sings Life in Stereo? Life in Stereo is... Who sings the Life in Stereo song? Oh, it is the Cars. Yeah, Moving in Stereo. That's the name of the song. But every time I hear Moving in Stereo by the Cars, I think of the swimming pool scene in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. So trust me, watch that movie without your kids. That was like teenage, not even teenage. I swear I watched that in like 4th grade. Yeah, that movie was insane. So, what's my... Oh, Ike. That's Ike. Okay, yeah, exactly. Do we get consolation prizes? I'm all out of prizes, guys. I mean, you can't... I mean, seriously, I gave away 2 field piece Joblink probes. I know you were joking, but holy crap, those things are expensive. So, doesn't anyone knock anymore? Yeah, after he's been in the bathroom, sitting there by himself. And then Mr. Hand has to come in there and... Dude, what Mr. Hand does, that was pretty... Dude, that was pretty messed up to Jeff Spicoli after he ordered... Come on. You got to give Jeff Spicoli props, right? He's sitting in a classroom, and he's bored out of his mind. I think it was history, right? It was a history class. And dude straight up ordered pizza in his classroom. The pizza delivery guy knocks on the door to the classroom. And then Mr. Hand comes in and hands the pizza out to everybody else in the classroom and doesn't let Jeff Spicoli have any of the pizza. Dude, that was such a messed up scene. Have I seen The Breakfast Club? Yes, Ernesto. Breakfast Club is another one of the Brat Pack movies. Well, not another. That's a Brat Pack movie. And that, I'm a movie person, so I'm a movie junkie. So The Breakfast Club, Breakfast at Tiffany's. There's a bunch of different movies that were all the Brat Pack. Emilio Estevez was in Breakfast Club. That's insane, right? Yeah, movie trivia. Did you know Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen are brothers? That's an interesting one. Oh, okay, Dion. Yeah, no, it's not for email. Yeah, not for that one. Filmed in San Dimas, that's right. Yep. That was a great movie. Epic movie, man. Epic movie. Let's see. Let me see what else I'm missing. Am I missing anything else inside the chat? All that because you're too old to know the reference. Yeah. Dude, The Fast Times at Ridgemont High, you're not too old for that. That movie came out in like 1981 or something like that. I was a baby. I wasn't even born in When did Fast Times at Ridgemont High came out in what year? I'm going to look that up right now. Fast Times at Ridgemont High came out in 1982. So I wasn't even born. I was born in 1983. Rocky Horror Picture Show. Steve, for real. When I was a kid, again, one of those movies I never should have been able to watch was the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Meatloaf has a cameo where he rides a motorcycle through a house and sings a song. Brad Majors and Janet. The movie stuff in my head is it. Unfortunately, my poor wife, she wants me to remember important things, and I have movie crap in my head. I have Rocky Horror Picture songs in my head. Damn it, Janet. I love you. I can sing these songs. And it's like, I should know this stuff. Rocky Horror Picture Show. It wasn't, I kid you not, it wasn't until I was like 16. I watched that movie from a kid. I thought it was a fun movie. When I was like 15 or 16, I finally realized that the Rocky Horror Picture Show was about transvestite aliens that landed on planet Earth. I just thought it was people dressed weird. I was a very naive kid in the way that I didn't understand what was going on in that movie. Rocky Horror Picture Show was way too advanced for my age, but yet I knew it. Yeah, that movie was awesome. And I found myself, I can still remember the songs from that movie and all that stuff. Ernesto, dude, movies, same thing, dude. Harry Potter. I just watched the third Harry Potter with my daughter last night because she's been reading the books. So we were waiting for her to finish the books, and then we watched that one. But I watched the whole Hunger Games series from yesterday to today. So RoboCop, yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah, I love Time Warp from Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's a great one. Yeah, I love everything, man. Come on, Joe. You got to get in the movie thing, man. I'm like a movie buff. I have so much random information in my head. Dion, I believe I believe Ike was the first person to send me an email. So on the whole with the thing, he was the first person to hit it. All right, but I'll look through and see. What about a gift for the new guy that joined today? Yeah, Miguel. Screw it. Screw it, right? What the hell? What the hell? You know what? We still have 172 viewers. I'll give you guys another movie quote. What the hell? I'm stupid, right? I got another field piece jobbling set. I'll do it again. Hold on. I'll get one more. Let me think of a movie in my head right now. I'll give you guys another shot. Everybody that's in here. What the hell? Why not? Let me be dumb about this. It's all good. I got another set. I had a plan for them, but, you know, I'll use them anyways. All right, so let me think of a movie in my head right now. I'm not going to pay attention to the chat. I'll think of the old timers in here. I got an idea. Let me think of how I can do this one. You said for the old timers in here. I have the perfect idea. Oh, man. All right. This is for the old timers. This is one of my favorite all-time songs. Okay. You're going to have to send me the movie that I'm thinking in my head right now. And I'm going to tell you the name of the song. And this is the song to this movie. Okay. So hold on just a second. Hold on. Let me think of how I can do this. Hold on. I'm not paying attention to the chat. Hold on. Just 1 second. Okay. So I'm going to give you a song title. And you have to tell me what movie this song was written for. This is going to be for the older guys. Okay? So we have 166 people in here. This is going to be for the older guys. And I'm going to give you some hints. First off. Okay? The first hint that I'm going to give you, I'm not going to say the song title name yet. Okay? Opie and Anthony was a radio show on Sirius XM. Before that, they were in the New York radio segment, okay? But I listened to them on Sirius XM. They use this song as their intro music for their TV show. Oftentimes, they would use this song, right? And I'm not asking for the song title because I'm going to give you the song title. I'm just giving you a hint as to what song I'm talking about. You're going to have to tell me what movie this song was written for. And the first person to tell me what movie this song was written for, I'm going to send a set of field piece jobbling probes to. Okay? I'm freaking nuts for doing this. I really am. Whatever. Okay? So Opie and Anthony use this as their intro, their bumper music to start their show every morning. And oftentimes when I used to listen, Anthony would use this because he would come to work late all the time. And this song is extremely long. Okay? This song was specifically written for a movie. Okay? The song title is called The Ecstasy of Gold. The first person to send me an email to hvacrvideos@gmail.com to tell me what movie The Ecstasy of Gold was written for, I'll send a set of field piece jobbling probes to. Again, guys, this is never going to happen again. So don't ever expect this. I happen to have these because of something that I did. I had 3 sets of them. I don't have them anymore. Okay, so the first person to send me an email to tell me what movie The Ecstasy of Gold was written for at hvacrvideos@gmail.com, I will send you a set of field piece jobbling probes so long as you live in the United States. If you live outside the United States, you got to figure out the freight with me, okay? So The Ecstasy of Gold, that's the name of the song, was written for a movie, okay? What movie was it? You got to send me the movie title. The first person to guess that in email is going to get a set of field piece jobbling probes. I'm looking at my email right now. Oh, easy, easy. Hold on, hold on. I already got a winner. I already got a winner. Hold on. Let me make sure. Let me make sure he's the first. Hold on, hold on. Wait. Got a bunch of winners. Hold on, hold on. Wow, you guys are quick. You guys are quick. The first winner, hold on just 1 second. Let me make sure. He is the first. Let me make sure. Just a second. Okay, so let me get past that. We already got a winner. Stop sending me emails. We already got a winner, but I got to make sure he's the first. Gabriel Weber, you're the winner. The movie is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. The movie, the song, The Ecstasy of Gold, was written for that movie by Amicio Bard. I can't even pronounce the guy's name. So The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Amazing Western movie. Awesome movie. Okay, Gabriel, send me an email. You already sent me an email. Send me your address and your phone number, and I'll send out a set of field piece job link probes. So what the hell? I sent out 3 sets, okay? Again, guys, I appreciate you guys coming into the live stream. I can guarantee you I will not ever give away 3 more sets of field piece job link probes, but I happen to have them because of something that I did, and what the hell? I give them away. Who cares, okay? Yeah, Good, Bad, and the Ugly. If you guys haven't watched that movie, definitely go check that one out too. Yeah, Ricky Hertz, Opie and Anthony did get fired in Boston because they said the mayor was dead. That was awesome. That is hilarious. I listened to them way after that, but that one still made me laugh. They did a whole skit on air where they talked about that. So, Gabriel Weber for sure, bud. Send me an email with your information and I'll get those sent out, okay? Lots of people guessed, man. Yeah. Oh man, that was and I wish that I could use that song as an intro. I've done so much research to find out if I can use that song as an intro for my live streams, and I just can't because there's so many copyrights with that song, but that is such a great song for an intro. I loved that Opie and Anthony used to use that for their thing, man. Right. Right on. Awesome, guys. Wow, congrats to all the winners, okay? How did I get 3 sets? Do you guys remember? I don't know if you guys have noticed. I don't care. I can say this. Do you guys remember? Or I don't know if you guys have seen it, actually. I did a series of videos with Field Piece. I did a series of videos, and as payment, instead of having them pay me because I didn't know what my time was worth or anything like that, I just had them pay me in tools. So I had them pay me in a bunch of different tools. And so if you go to Field Piece's YouTube page, there'll be videos of me on their channel. And that was my payment, basically. I just had them give me a bunch of tools. So that's why I have so many of those tools, was because I just did I had them give me those as payment just because I felt weird asking them for money. So that was my thing. But yeah, awesome. Again, I can't promise this is ever going to happen again. So really appreciate it. Guys, I am going to go ahead and wrap this up for real. All right. Those of you that won, make sure you guys send me emails with your information. And you already did, actually. Everybody already sent me their information. And I'll send out those job link probes, okay? Really appreciate you guys coming in here. And I'm really going to cue up the outro music for real. And we will catch you guys on the next one. And again, remember something, guys. I've said this on many streams before, and many people have been taking advantage of it. Sorry. Many people have been taking advantage of it. Don't get depressed in the midst of all this stuff. Make sure you're communicating with your family. Make sure you're communicating with your friends. Don't let yourself get down and out. We're all in this together in one way or another. Remember that I am not a therapist. I am not a psychiatrist. In no way do I consider myself capable or smart enough to be able to consult with people about their mental issues or anything like that. But sometimes it literally takes just someone to answer an email, answer a text message, or answer a phone call. If you truly don't have anybody to talk to, if you need someone to talk to, send me an email, hvacrvideos@gmail.com. Okay? Or send me a text message or a phone call to 909-238-9094 in case you need someone to talk to. Don't get depressed. Don't think stupid. Don't do any of that stuff. Life will be okay. It may be hard. We're going to get through this. And remember, if I can give you guys any advice at all, is super simple. okay? When it comes to work, just take a step back and look at the big picture. That's the most important advice I can give you, and I'm going to cue up the outro music.